I guess we're gonna just freestyle again, guys. Back at it. Sit your podcast down. McFly, Reek, G in the building. What's up, fellas? What's going on?
Go Knicks.
Fuck you.
Go
Let me
Knicks.
just start by I don't want to hear this shit today. First off, if you want to start with the Knicks, it's perfect. Let's start with the Knicks since you want to be an asshole. I am actually cool with what they did.
Oh.
Am I ecstatic? I'm not ecstatic. I didn't want to see Peyton come back, but I'm actually good with what they did.
I mean, to me, they cemented their legacy as a legendary organization.
I will kick you the fuck out of there. I just want you to know that. I just want you to know I will literally remove your ass just so you understand that. Reek, what do you got? What did you think?
I think we're doing the right thing. All our contracts are short, cheap, so we can keep the cap. We didn't overpay for anybody.
No.
I think we brought in some decent pieces. I think some decent pieces that'll help our guys develop. And I think we did pretty well, considering. We didn't jump off the cliff and like, hey, Gordon Hayward, 100-something million. Like, we didn't do anything like that. So,
can we talk about how Jordan? I think I heard Max say this. Jordan is the Jordan of bad owners. Like, what is? I mean, why is he giving the bag to that?
Well, I will say this: Gordon Hayward's been trying to get to Charlotte for like 3 or 4 years. Don't ask me why, but he's been trying to get to Charlotte since Utah. Utah just matched the original offer. So then I guess when it came up again, they offered him again, but this time there's no restriction on it. So he just decided, I'm going to get Gordon Hayward. Like, you've been wanted Gordon Hayward. Like,
so wait, he wanted to go there or just Jordan just wanted him?
No, I think Hayward wanted to go there because he was trying to sign with Charlotte when he was in Utah, when he was a restricted free agent.
For what?
I don't know why. I mean, he's from Indiana, so Charlotte might be a big city for him. Like, I don't know.
Like you said, that's a big city for him. I see, like that's why I thought the Pacers made sense because they were saying he wanted to go back there, but I mean Charlotte. The contracts that Jordan had on the books or has on the books, they're gonna waive and I guess stretch platoon. All right, cool. But like, who's the other dude? Rozier. Now they got Hayward. What's the other big stupid contract they took on? There's another dude, and I'm just
they got rid of, but they had Batum, but they got rid of him.
Right, but this is the last year. You were finally gonna have that shit off the books. Now you stretch it, and this what's $9 million for the next 3 years or whatever it is. Like, I'm guessing they're gonna stretch it. I mean, I don't know how else they can do it, but I don't understand. Outside of that though, outside of Jordan, I mean, free agency in general, the Lakers look primed to repeat. Like,
did a lot of work, man. Let's talk about Rich Paul, man.
Let's talk about how he. Let's not.
Let's talk about Rich Paul. If you play with LeBron, you're not getting a good deal, but anywhere else, you might get a deal you don't deserve.
I mean, I think it's funny. KCP's his client, right?
Yep.
He got a bag that didn't make sense. But then at the same time, I think it was different for him because you can go over to sign your boys. But the fact that he got Trez, you put the do-rag on, please. Because the fact that he got Trez for $9 million a year, and there are dudes getting 20, 24 a year. You can't tell me there's not something going on. Because when it was said before, no, Rich Paul gets everybody the bag. This shit looks sus. Good move. Shit by him and good move because he got to keep. Are you going to keep LeBron or Trez happy? You're going to keep Bron happy. That's a winning decision.
We don't know the full. I'm waiting for Reek's response, but let me get my 2 cents in before Reek kills him. We don't know the situation, right? What if Trez just really don't like the Clippers that much?
He could have went a lot of other places and got more money. He didn't have to go to crosstown.
He looked like a petty person anyway.
He probably is, but you gonna be that paid and not get your money to the tune of half what you could get for the year?
Charlotte,
if it was 15, maybe.
Right. Charlotte offered him more than $9 million. And the thing is with the whole, because here's the thing that's starting to bug me about clutch sports. Because it seems like I see that like they're trying to run the league, and they're trying to.
They run
It's
the
almost,
league.
They do run the league.
Try it. They run it.
They run the league, and it's real AAU-ish what they're trying to do. So I've literally read before we got on that Anthony Davis is waiting before he signs. He's waiting to see what Giannis does. If Giannis doesn't sign his max or whatever, he's going to just wait to see what Giannis does, because I guess whatever with the contracts, if he doesn't sign or it just takes like a 1 year or whatever, then they can sign Giannis next year. So it'll be Giannis, AD, and LeBron, which would be insane.
Speculation.
Yeah, but that's the word out. But it's still like,
wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? What's the word out?
So the word out is LeBron. Well, not LeBron. AD is waiting to see what Giannis does. So if Giannis doesn't sign the max extension, they're saying he's just going to take like the 1 year or the 1+1, so they can have enough money in the cap next year, so they can get Giannis. So it'll be Giannis, AD, and LeBron possibly.
But Giannis isn't rep by Rich Paul.
No.
Okay.
Well, but it's the idea that you're telling AD to wait instead of signing your max extension, or to sign your extension. You tell him to wait. Well, we'll see what Giannis does, and if Giannis doesn't sign it, you just sign the 1 year, and then we can bring in Giannis, and y'all play as a big three.
Okay.
So it's like it's stuff like that, and then what makes it worse, when I saw the news and I was reading the comments and everything, people still think that wouldn't be worse than what Kevin Durant did.
I think here's the thing.
Worse? It wouldn't be worse. It'd be equal.
No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Let's be honest about something really quickly. Let's be really honest about something. The Warriors are literally good because of team ball, and they have one, maybe two Hall of Famers, but like Klay's a great complimentary guy. He's not necessarily a build your team around guy. Not necessarily. Probably top 5 greatest shooter of all time, him and Steph, which is deadly on its own. But Giannis and AD and LeBron on the same team are legit 3 centerpiece build around all-time talents. Nothing KD did would be comparable to that. I'm sorry.
You can arguably say those are 3 top 5 players in the league.
I think you can very, very easily say that, considering that LeBron still shows he got it.
So,
I mean,
the fact that, and here's the other thing. You got a bunch of people that said when KD left the Warriors, that the Warrior dynasty was over. And that's already showing like how much the Warriors needed KD. If the Lakers are winning championship and they come up for championship this year, coming up, you can't sit there and say they need Giannis. Like, now you're just going into overkill.
Now is the idea that let's get LeBron 7 rings. Then he'll be the greatest. Then you can't argue it.
Does that not seem like the plan? Like, nobody – think about this. Nobody's calling Trez a snake, like, at all.
They should.
They should, but
I mean, he is.
And you want to know why? Because he's going to play with LeBron. All of a sudden, he's not – this ain't snake behavior.
No. People calling him snake. They just not getting the play. They're not getting the clicks.
I mean, even Pat Bev, the one guy I expected to have a little bit of heart, was like, what? And then he was like, oh, man, congrats to the Brody. What? Congrats, nothing. You a snake, bro. Call him out. I would love that. I would love that kind of energy.
It was PG or him, man, and they chose PG, so he out.
But that was never a choice. They were never going to choose him over PG, and he knew that.
And that's why he chose out. Easy, get me out of here then.
Yeah, but you chose out and you went across the hall.
I think
My man like his home.
no one wants to say this. No one wants to say this. LeBron is a great player, all-time great player. I think if this comes to fruition, it will show that LeBron single-handedly ruined basketball for 2 fucking decades. It will literally show that he's ruined basketball for 2 fucking decades. It will it will, because if you think about it, the Warriors don't get KD if he doesn't do the shit that he does. Think about it. The idea of the big three was started by 3 old aging veterans, and then LeBron was like, "Well, I don't want to get on that, and I'm gonna create a big three, then destroy a big three, then make a new big three, then come to LA and make another big three." All through the power of my agent, who apparently has half the big contracts in the league. That's a problem. No one wants to say anything else, but that's a problem. It's a problem.
For so long, people championed players getting back their business and getting back their power. They get it, and now y'all boys just like they ruined it.
No. This isn't about players. This is about player. One fucking dude has all the power. Everyone doesn't have the power. One guy has the power. This isn't democracy. This is a goddamn tyranny. This isn't we all are doing what we want. No, this is one guy making pieces move to his liking. I'm just saying, if that shit happens, that'd be crazy. I mean, it's what it is. LeBron fans are fucking irrational, so no point in trying to explain this shit to them. They'll be like, no, it's not that. It's just he, whatever. If he does that shit, it'd be ridiculous. Period.
Yes, it's just I'm all for player empowerment, but it's just the way they're doing things that just seems, it's going away from greatness to me. Like You're not really proving your greatness when you're trying to get all the best players to play with you so you can win a champion. Like he started that before, but the thing is, with LeBron, they want to call him the greatest, but even with no matter how many great players he has on his team, nobody says, "Oh, they're guaranteed to win the championship." Like they were guaranteeing KD and the Warriors going to win the championship. They never guarantee LeBron going to win the championship because he's not that guy. He just doesn't feel like, okay, Mike, this team isn't going to lose no matter what. He doesn't give you that feeling. But it's just interesting that he's trying to do all these team up things and all this other stuff. Like, I got a question. Like, it's kind of off topic, but it's on topic. I don't know if y'all feel this way, but to me, it just feels like just this era. And, I'm related to basketball, but it's still other things too. It's almost like they don't want to be great. It's more so about defending the narrative that you created. So
I mean, yeah, James Harden. He's a guy that comes to mind. Like, are you that great? Go show it. Look at my stats though. I've already proven it. Have you?
Right.
Have you proven it?
Yeah, it just feels like no matter what it is, I got to create this narrative, and then I defend that. I don't just become great. Like I don't just do things to be great. Like it just feels like the whole era is like that. And it's not just basketball. You can look at music or just anything.
Basketball and rap have a lot of the same problems.
Well, it's social media. Everybody's living a fake life, and it's easier to get popular off of clicks than it is to actually get good.
Yeah, like that whole notion of like taking it to rap for a second. Oh, based off my streams, I'm popping. Like, what? Like, that whole it makes you sick. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Because you got stream, you popping? Like, your song's trash. I don't understand, but that's what people go on. How many views? How many likes? That's what matters.
Yeah, it's almost like you can create your own. You create your own thing, and then you go off and defend that instead of basically building your own greatness. And
my bad. Go ahead.
No, it was just seemed like it's backwards for me to do that. Like,
I guess follow-up question. So this is the first time we've been able to go straight to consumer as effectively, right? As efficiently. would you say that is a good thing? Because I mean, I feel like out of all the bad, a lot of good has come from that, though.
I mean, access is inherently good. Isn't inherently good or bad. I think it's all about how you use it. I mean, it's great. It's great that we see like people come out. Like I look at like Drake, for example. Drake benefited greatly from the internet age. If music wasn't as easily accessible, you wouldn't maybe hear as much from him. He may not have gotten found. I mean, what is it? What's the story? He got found by Jay Prince's son or whatever
Yeah.
on MySpace. That's like the whole story of how he got found. Like Wayne heard him on like line 2 and shit. Like so, like there's some good things about it, but it's too easy to fake. Like, you know, respect is too easy to fake because respect is based on likes and views. Likes and views are determined by entities that we don't control, right? Like, shit, do this with us. If YouTube put up our video and just said, yo, it got 1 million views and showed it to every fucking body, we be the hottest shit out. Does that mean we have the best shit to talk about? Not really. But if YouTube says it, it is real. Like, and that's the
America.
problem. They need to do that shit.
Yeah, do you,
But I'm
like,
saying,
like, do y'all think that because of the social media and the internet era, it eliminates the aura that you can have when you're great at what you do? Even though I think it's still people like that have been great at their crafts and still have a certain aura about them. But I'm talking about the people from this generation. Like, do you think it's possible to even have that type of iconic greatness in
Yes.
this era?
Yes.
I don't think you can
Because
recreate the greatness from before. I'm sorry, go ahead, G.
I think yes, because it kind of shows, and not to give the last era like saying it's the best era ever, but it's like when you see people that have that mindset and they apply that to the new standards, they clearly overachieve over everybody.
Like, see that? So who would you say like now has that type of iconic aura? Because I would look at somebody like Dave Chappelle to me has like an iconic aura, but he's not from this era. You know what I mean?
I mean, I want to say Drake. Honestly, Drake doesn't put out bad music.
Yeah, I
He
think
puts out
Drake. I think Drake has
simple.
that.
Yeah, his music is pretty similar, but I mean, he got a formula and he just tapped in. And I feel like Drake works hard too. I don't know for sure, but
Yeah,
I feel like he works hard.
I don't
I think.
think anybody of this quote unquote era will ever be what happened before. Ever. I think Drake is more recency bias. Drake's maybe the closest, but they're just because okay, like the aura of Wilt, right? The 100-point game. People didn't even see this shit. Like he drove to the game. He wrote it on a piece of paper. It's this old grainy photo. It's like you can't be that, right? In terms of music, you can't be Michael. No one can be that. This dude walk on stage and like utter 2 notes and chicks in the front row just pass out. Like that doesn't happen now. Those guys don't exist anymore. I think because internet's watered everything down. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't like, and that's why I think in part to like LeBron, for example, he is right to be a little aggravated because he'll never be Jordan ever. He can win 100 fucking rings over the next 100 years. He can crack the code of fucking immortality and win them in perpetuity. He's not gonna be Jordan. It's just something about the nostalgia, the time he brought the NBA up to the highest ratings I've ever seen. You just can't recreate that.
But right, and I also think that. But I think what makes people suffer from that, like LeBron, should have had that type of because Kobe has it. But the thing is, I
Yeah.
think LeBron went with more of I'm trying to play for my narrative as opposed to just being great and creating that. Like I'm trying to build I'm trying to create my legacy as opposed to building my legacy. You know what I mean? So I think he fell victim into what this era does, which is they try to create the greatness instead of people just letting them be like determine their greatness. Like you're doing stuff that we haven't seen.
Also,
I just don't think. I don't think they figure. I think we're looking at it from a point of view of like maybe now the next 5 years, and just knowing what I know working in this industry in tech. I don't think everybody has it figured out yet. I think people think they have it figured out and they're using it to get them where they are now. But there's a reason why stuff isn't sticking, and it's because everything hasn't stopped moving yet. Like I feel like in each point in each decade, there was a big thing that was like, okay, this is the way to do it. This is how we're gonna go ahead and make it. And stuff is changing so much with social media and how much we're advancing that I just don't think they figured it out yet.
I can see that too. I can see that. I think that is like the biggest thing people are trying to do in this era is find how to create that. Because nobody's going to be like, you can't even picture anybody being Michael Jackson era or at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
It's gonna be some weird shit. It's gonna be some like somebody's gonna figure out how to like upload their personality into virtual reality, and then that's gonna be the thing. That's gonna be the biggest person for the next 50 years because they just never gonna die or something like that. Like it's gonna be something stupid. Like I'm making that up obviously, but you see it. You see like all the advancements coming every day, and it's like I don't even know how much a stream is worth, and it's worth something different coming from a different part of the world, coming from a different streaming service, coming from a different provider. It's like once we figure all that stuff out, I think it'll be a little cleaner.
I can see that.
I mean, that's all they have. That's all the new age is going to be able to have. Something that we can't just do. Like you said, live for another 100 years. We're talking like that's the level we're talking about. You can't beat nostalgia. You can't beat
right. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that hurts this era. Like it's hard to even do that. Like just even music from this era. Like what classic albums come from this era that you feel like, okay, this album's going to be, people are going to be listening to this.
I mean,
10 years from now.
I got something for you. So this is one thing that the problem I have. So it's recency bias. It's a lot of that for like right now. Not a lot of it I feel like stands the test of time. And you won't know until you get there. But for example, talking about like, let's talk about LeBron. I don't hate LeBron. Be very clear about this. I don't hate LeBron. I absolutely fucking hate LeBron fans because they're irrational. I was talking to somebody, he who should not be named. This person is a member of my family. I don't want to say who he is because it's shame on my house that he brings. He told me it's irrational. Literally, it's irrational to not have LeBron at least second of all time. And I was like, wait. So it's irrational to not have him second of all time. To have him anything lower than 2 is irrational. And I was like, whoa, wouldn't it be? So, but when I got to speaking to him, I just got to realizing it doesn't matter. What happened before doesn't matter because you'll pick the metric that best compares him to whoever came before him. And I'm just like, that to me, if you live in that space, and if that's kind of the aura behind, because that's how Bron feels. I beat the Warriors who had the best record of all times. I'm the best of all time.
And that's what I mean by the whole narrative thing. Like if they don't meet if they don't meet a standard of greatness that people reach before them, they'll decide to create their own type of greatness and say, okay, well, this is up there with that. And it's just like I don't see how you do that. You know what I mean? Like
I think the one thing I'll give keeping with LeBron. Longevity and the fact that he never got hurt, I think is one thing I'll give him because that's something that seems to have sown on everybody. And that combined with the fact that he came out of high school, so he has some 4 years, whatever. Like there's some things that lead to why he has such great stats and such longevity or whatever, which is awesome. But I mean, dude, it's just the narrative is everything. And if my narrative is under attack, I'm gonna find a way to prove. It's rings for who I have more rings than. It's points for who I have more points than. It's appearances for who I can't beat on either of those things. It's assists for who I have more assists. And it's like you find the part where he's better, and it's like, all right, cool. So like the recency bias and just this idea that, like Reek said, man, the narrative is so untouchable that if you break it down, I refuse to acknowledge what you're saying. And it's incredible to me. And that's where we are right now. If I say right now, Bron is fifth of all time, I'll say he's fifth right now. Who's better than him? That guy, no. That guy, no. I'm just like, first off, there's no objective way to do this. There's no proven way to compare era to era at all, period. There's just no way that exists to do this. So the anger and like the vitriol that comes from that shit, that's the problem I have with this era. And that's why I think it's important that anybody in this era that's great at anything, don't do the LeBron shit. Don't pretend to be fucking. You know what I would prefer? I would prefer LeBron walked around and said, I'm the greatest all the fucking time. I would prefer he say that shit like he means it, as opposed to act super humble when he wants to, but then when he with his boys like, well, I thought I was the greatest. Because I don't think you believe that shit. Say that shit with your chest if you really believe that shit. If you really believe that shit, then say that shit all the goddamn time. It is fair. It's be 100 on what you are all the time.
Because
Don't
when I'm with my peoples,
nah,
I'm the greatest ever. I never miss a shot.
But you with your peoples on camera, shut the fuck up. That you know what you're doing. Or you ask, I'm not worried. I'm the greatest in the world. If you're the greatest in the world, why you got AD? Why you want to get Giannis? Why you need anybody?
Team game.
No, you're the greatest.
I think
you're the greatest.
Back to the original point. I think the other option, and we do this with other aspects of programs that we run. We retrain, and I think it's just a mass retraining of the fan or your fans, a mass retraining, which people aren't going to do. I think people are not doing it on purpose, but people like Kendrick and Cole, by like not releasing every week, they're slowly retraining their fans to just, yo, you get it when you get it, man. Just live with what I got out. And I think it's just going to be a lot of that. M does that a lot. M don't release nothing till he ready.
Nas, Jay.
Yeah.
Nas is just not releasing stuff. That's fine.
So it's a retraining of the fan that I think needs to happen.
Need to retrain Nas fans.
It's going to take the greats now to do that.
Like Drake.
That's like Drake
is also like that. Yep. Meek. Like I think, but he's those are the ones.
Whoa, you got a great though. You think Meek's a great?
I do. I think Meek is on his way.
Really?
I think so. I like Meek. I think
if you can make an album full of intros, yeah.
I saw a G face. He was like, what?
I like Meek.
Is he a great G? Is he a great?
Not to me, but I'm not going.
I think if you look, especially with people like people in this generation, this era, they Meek is high for them.
Really?
Like,
yeah. I like Meek. I don't know if I put him. I mean, I don't know.
He matured up enough.
Okay, we put it this way. Is this like catalog any worse than J. Cole's?
J. Cole has a couple that I'm just like, ugh. Like, what I've been seeing a lot of, there's a couple of guys. First off, I think there's definitely, what is it? What is the old, they may even be originally a Kiss line. You know, dead rappers get better promotion. So there's a lot of like, I've seen a lot of young boys talking about how great Mac Miller is and how great, like, who's the other, Juice WRLD is and some others. But then on the other side, I hear a lot of like this, Cole's the greatest of all time and Kanye's the greatest of all time. And I'm just like, the Kendrick stuff I think is a little overblown too. He needs more. But dude, like, if these is your GOATs, we got a problem.
But see, you saying he needs more kind of feeds into, or you're just saying he needs more before you call him a GOAT. That's all you're saying, right?
Before I call him GOAT.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
No, I think just because to me, you call Biggie a GOAT because Biggie had 2 albums, but legit, I don't think anyone would disagree with this shit. He released 2 classic albums. And I think there's no one else maybe in hip hop that their first 2 albums were legit top 20 classic albums.
He also changed his flow was just different than everybody's. His swag.
Right.
I mean, I hate using the word swag, but it was just different than everybody's. There's like more to it than just he released 2
of
major
course.
albums.
But that goes back to what we were saying before about like you can't recreate that. It's so hard to recreate that movement at that time.
Right. It's hard to impact the culture when you're creating your own narratives. So, I mean, I even got an ad today on Instagram from American Eagle, and it was a Ready to Die sweatshirt. Like, you know what I mean? With a white model. So it's just like.
And what's crazy is that I don't think he was doing like, it wasn't as commercial as it is now. Where like, yo, he be on that shit. Like, yeah, man, go to American Eagle. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like one thing that I like about, for example, the guy like Jay, who maybe controls narratives to an extent, it's they blaze their own path. And because of the success, you gravitate towards it. Not let me just make it cookie cutter so everybody can get on board. I'm going to just do what the fuck I want. I think that's something that I think is missing from today. That's just me. That's why I can't give guys, especially in music, like, I don't know, man. Does Drake have the kind of staying power I'm going to want to hear him in 15 years?
I think so.
You probably got a couple songs that you can play any time of the year.
I mean, I think it's people that listen to his albums now that's been out for almost 10 years.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, he's the closest. As far as guys out right now, he's the closest. I think y'all not as high in Kendrick as I am. I think he's approaching that. I don't think Cole is that.
See, I think Drake music lasts longer than Kendrick's. Like I can't tell you the last time I listened to a Kendrick album.
Yeah, I mean Drake had a plan, man. Drake put out an album in every genre, so it's like no matter what you feel like listening to, you got something to listen to from Drake.
And then
it's brilliant. As much as I hate it, it's brilliant.
And the other thing that I notice about Drake is people catch on to his music later. So it's been plenty of times people didn't like his album initially, and then when they go back and listen to it, maybe because the sound has changed, or like you said, a different genre of music might be in that he was doing before, and then people are like, oh, I like this song now. You know what I mean? So, or I like this album now more than I did before.
It's a safe bet, man. When I have company and I don't know what to play, I just play Drake.
That's
I don't know. There's a mix between like hardcore rap and then like R&B people. I just play Drake.
Yeah. He has the like he makes good music and he has a blend for he has something for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to basketball for a second. Have the Laker moves been enough? Well, no. Who's knocking them off, if anybody? Who you got? The Suns ain't ready. I don't think Denver's ready. It's just a foregone conclusion that the Lakers are going to win the championship this year.
No.
Who's stopping them?
Given everybody's healthy, I am afraid of what Brooklyn might be able to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what their roster is going to end up looking like, but I'm afraid of what they might be able to do. In the West, I can see the Clippers turning it around. I know that it's unlikely with my man Playoff P, but I can see them getting it together. I can see it being a 2-year I need to gel process.
I mean, I do think if they don't, it'll be very interesting to see because they can all opt out next year. That team may go from being amazing to being awful with no draft picks in sight.
I was gonna say because they ain't got no picks.
They gave up everything. I mean, in theory, right? We should think the Clippers have a chance, even losing Trez. I think replacing Trez with Ibaka was actually a low key, not a bad move.
I actually like it because
it's better.
I think it's a better because Trez plays zero defense, which people saw in the bubble. Like
he's undersized, so he's an I'm gonna score 20 because I'm hustling, not because I just have unstoppable moves. It's a different vibe. So
he got too much emotion, man. He gonna emotion himself out the game.
Yeah, and Ibaka can stretch the floor. He can make threes. He plays defense. Like they needed more of a role player type person. And I think that's where the Clippers kind of messed up last year. They kept trying to load up. Okay, we need more people, When you had a nice mix of, you got your star players and then a bunch of role players that do their jobs. That's what you need. You don't need to keep bringing in Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris. And you know what I mean? Like, it's like you already got
who they gave the bag.
Right. You're bringing in guys who've been like, even though their teams were terrible, they were the first option on their teams. So it's like, you going to bring them off the bench? Like, that's an adjustment.
Yeah.
So
last year might have been their window, man, because like chemistry wise, as far as like, you know, the first team and the second team, like you couldn't ask for much better. Chemistry wise, like you had your second team outscoring the first team some quarters.
Yeah. I mean, it's and so, you know, I like the cut, but I also wouldn't sleep on Golden State. I know they lost Clay for the season.
I think they're itching to make a move. It just feels like they're trying to make a move. If they pull off somebody big, maybe. I mean, I think I do think Clay's going to be nasty. I'm not Clay. I do think Steph's going to be nasty this year. I think there's been a lot of just blatant disrespect to my man's. I think he's going to show up.
Yeah, I think they're going to surprise a lot of people because, for one, like bringing in Kelly Oubre was a big move that people sleep on because Kelly Oubre plays both ends. He can't shoot like Clay, but he's a better slasher than Clay.
Yeah,
and he plays defense like he locks up. Like somebody showed a stat today about Kelly Oubre's defense on Harden. Harden shoots like 20-something% on him or something like that. Like it's like he plays defense. So it's like you that was a good pickup for them. You know, Steph is gonna I think Steph is gonna go crazy this year. You still got Wiggins. Yeah.
He has to, but I think there's been a lot of disrespect about best point guards in the league. And, you know, Dame got a lot of love, which was cool. I think he's one of the biggest guys I've heard kind of taking that jump in terms of just being looked at as that guy. But, yo, Curry's the fucking guy, man. That's still the guy.
He got to show it. This is the year, right? This is the year where he supposedly doesn't have help.
Yeah. This is the first year. I mean, Draymond ain't no help.
Yeah, got that right. Draymond's a clutch mole.
Draymond is the worst.
Come on, man.
It wouldn't surprise me because I don't know if y'all saw that. Marcus saw before he ended up signing the Lakers, there was a bunch of rumors saying he was going to sign with Golden State. And then all of a sudden, he's with the Lakers.
I mean,
I wouldn't surprise me if Draymond was talking to LeBron. It's like, oh, yeah, we about to get Mark. And then LeBron.
I mean, he's on clutch too, isn't he?
This thing is Geppetto. Like,
no. I mean,
Trez was a mole. Trez was a mole for clutch. Like,
I do think the fact that here Draymond, like the thing that was concerning to me is that at that one little tryout thing for like the draft picks, whatever that were under clutch, whatever, Draymond was there, and I'm just like, the fuck are you doing? Like, the fuck
player coach, man. He a player coach.
You don't show up. You don't show up with LeBron anywhere publicly. What are we doing? Like, it's too much. And here's the thing. He's one of the guys that supposedly old school, you know, grab your lunch pail, hard working, hard. No, you a bitch. Why you out with this dude? Like, it's like we just like be kicking it. Now you a bitch.
He wasn't. He tried to act like he's old school. He was never. I'd never.
But then, at least keep the trick alive. Keep the game alive. You out with this man kicking it like we homies. Signed by clutch. Man, get out of here, dude. They should trade that. I seen that shit. I'd been like, oh, really?
He's just emotional.
Trade his ass right now. I would trade Draymond right now for a bag of chips in the
basketball. The thing is, the way they have the league, the way they're controlling the league, there's no way to not think they don't have moles like all over the place.
Every agent has a mole if they got a big client.
But when your agent has half the big clients in the league,
step it up.
See, it's the difference. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I think what LeBron,
it's just fair game.
What LeBron doing is like brilliant for trying to salvage his career because it'll never be Mike. But
you can't give my man a backhanded compliment.
But
like
it's
that.
still it's still like. I mean, they're not doing anything any different than any other agents. But don't give off the vibe. But don't give off the vibe like you are. That's the whole thing. Like we're different. We're different. We don't do it this way. Yes, y'all do.
You're in sales, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Sell it.
I mean,
I'm not mad at it.
I'm just saying.
But also, don't sit there and say you got the best interest of players, and then you're having a $6 million a year sign with LeBron for $9 million.
Yeah, he got other bag. Who else did he get a bag? He got somebody else a bag they didn't deserve.
I think KCP's bag was a little overpriced.
But they owed him because they told him to turn down $80 million the first time he got offered that. He didn't get $80 million this time, but he got offered $80 million from Detroit, and Rich Paul told him no, bet on yourself.
Which he got a chip.
What is that worth?
To him, that could have been his dream.
How many years did it take before that? Because remember, he was on the Lakers and everything before LeBron got there.
Before he got there. I'm just saying, I think here's the thing. I'm not mad that they're pulling the strings, but my problem is not that it's a bad move for them. It's a smart move by Clutch and LeBron to pull the strings and to get information and to have moles. But then don't act like it's insane to think you're doing this shit, because that's not. The Trez deal right now should have the NBA on notice. Don't trust fucking Rich Paul with shit. That deal should be the signal. This motherfucker is a mole. We got to cut down his power, do something to control this shit, because it's crazy.
And that's what worries me, because for one thing, they're not gonna like somebody of color having all this power and doing all this type of stuff. So because of the player empowerment and everything that's going on now, they're probably right now trying to calculate and figure out ways for them not to have it and to not do it. Because that's the thing that just by the way they're going about things, because they're not doing shit quietly. Like they right out in the open with it. And it's almost like, yeah, y'all come and stop it. And they're going to figure out a way to stop it. And then it's going to be an issue.
Rules, or they're going to change up language and contracts. They're going to find a way to make sure you can, outside of like that aging veteran, they're going to control this shit somehow. Because I'm telling you right now, if the LeBron Lakers pull off one more crazy move, you're going to get a call from fucking Adam Silver. He's going to be like, cut the shit out. Because they're not stupid. And I'm all for player empowerment. I'm just not all for one fucking player empowerment. That's all. If everybody get in the bag, everybody get in the bag. Fine.
Jordan Clarkson was the other deal that I was like, $52 million for Jordan Clarkson? I don't know.
I mean, they needed him. They needed a steady hand off the bench to run that offense. I don't know if they needed Jordan Clarkson.
$52 million?
But again, he got $52 million.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
52?
But he owes a player like Nerlens Noel, like the offer he got from Dallas, like he'll never get that offer again. They told him, no, don't take it. Same with KCP. KCP ain't ever getting offered $80 million again, ever.
No.
Look, man, certain amount of money, your happiness doesn't increase enough for the money.
Sounds good.
KCP was balling.
KCP was playing with a low jack on.
Right. He had an ankle monitor. You think he gave a fuck about that title? He wants the bread, and they convince him otherwise. He gets to be with LeBron for 3 more years. All right.
Or what about that kid? What about the kid? He said, "Oh, we're going to give him an internship at New Balance."
I'm not doing this again. But,
who needs college? Where's he at?
We don't know where he at.
That's the problem. That's exactly the problem. We don't know where he's at.
He put him in a position to succeed outside of basketball.
Did he succeed? Do we know of this?
You can't
Getting
say until
a
we know.
1-year internship at New Balance or whatever sneaker company. It wasn't a good one. How are you LeBron and you can't get this kid at Nike?
It was a mill, wasn't it? It came with a price though. It was like a mill, right?
It was I don't know what it was. Millions. I think it might have been like a mill. And he was getting an internship in New Balance. And he's playing, and then going to go into the draft. And we haven't heard anything since that.
I'm gonna do some research, and I'm gonna be unbiased in my research. Because again, I want people to be clear. I'm not defending these boys. I just think if I was another agent, I'd be doing the same thing if I could.
No, and they are, and they're just doing better than them, which is what they don't like. And that's why I think they're going to start finding loopholes into trying to shut all this stuff down, especially when they start renegotiating and all that other stuff, all the player deals and everything. They're going to start changing some stuff up because they don't like what they're doing. They're
gonna find it. I think they're gonna definitely find something. I mean, because you've never had, I can remember, an agent that was best friends with the best player in the league that came in before that. Like, it's a unique scenario, and I think they're gonna have unique rules to govern it. Not that I'm mad about like player empowerment. Just like I said, one guy. That's just fuck that. No matter who it is, just one guy has too much power, and they're gonna find that shit. And they're gonna figure that shit out. I want to talk about the Verzuz, but like, I feel like there's some delusions going on. First off, I just think I don't think Gucci's a good rapper because if that's those are his best songs. I wasn't impressed. I don't know how y'all feel, but I just
it's a regional. It was such a regional thing because the only people I've seen saying Gucci won are from Atlanta. Or, like, I mean, you got some people from Buffalo that are just like, I mean,
my bad. I looked up the Baisley dude. He went first round.
To where?
So so they don't put that in the article, but they say he went first round after going to New Balance and.
Wait, who's this person? Who's this person we're talking about?
Baisley.
Rich Paul, the one that gave the internship to New Balance.
They said he went first round. I don't know where he is, but maybe he out. But all right, we go back to the Verzuz. My bad.
Yeah, that was a good update. But yeah, it's like
dog, my man, Clutch Sports.
You don't know what that team. That nigga, that's his $1 million probably the last contract he's getting.
Oh man.
But yeah, it was such a like I saw people reaching for some of the dumbest reasons why Gucci won. It's like how he just Gucci, he just Jeezy right in front of his face. How's he not winning? Because the song sucks.
Like,
right.
think about everything that happened. Think about that. Like all of the history, the dead homie, the disrespect in front of you, and you still getting washed on this music shit. Like,
and Jeezy, and the thing is, if Jeezy played his diss songs, they would have won those rounds because they were just better. If he played 24-23, that would have got or Stay Strapped. He would have got them out of there.
It's just, I don't know why Gucci. I can see why Gucci initially said no. Because he don't have the heat for that. I was just like, I don't think I've seen one that was that one-sided in a minute. It was just like, I think you could literally argue every song, Gucci lost. You could literally make the argument that even though the 3 to 4 maybe you give him were kind of like, that was close. It was real close.
And it wasn't because of Gucci. It was just that Jeezy picked a bad song.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, that song is like nothing could have beat that. Like Jeezy just didn't pick a good song for that round. It wasn't man. Gucci played anything that was like, you know what? Jeezy doesn't have anything to top that.
It was one-sided. I expected him to just call off. I expected him to either just walk off or just like fight Jeezy. It was so bad. I expected him to just be like, you know what?
I think, I even think like Gucci was starting to look like. That's why he kept playing. He playing all them old songs. Well, he literally beat you half of the rounds with just TM 101.
Dude, seriously. Every time a song came on from that, I was just like, that's around. Like, that's around every time. Every time.
He played everything from it.
No, he didn't. He had a couple left. I was just like, ugh.
It's bad. And I think the crazy thing to me is you can tell, I think y'all were saying earlier, like different generations are just different because anybody that came up with my brother, everybody was saying Gucci. And I'm like, what the fuck was y'all listening to?
Right. What are y'all listening to?
What was y'all listening to?
Like
Jeezy is I don't know if he's worldwide, but he's definitely more national than local ass Gucci.
Right. It was really like it was people getting mad at me on Twitter when I was like, yo, Gucci hasn't won a round yet. And it's like they didn't want to admit it, but it was just like it was getting ugly. They kept saying this is how I know they didn't want to say that Jeezy run the rounds. They're like, oh, that was a tie. No, it wasn't.
No.
That round wasn't a tie.
I'm looking at that thing. What did you do? You send it, G? At DJ Suave 11.
Let me give you the context. This is the craziest conversation I ever had, and I refuse to talk to my brother about anything real. He first he said Gucci won. Then he followed up with the only person that can beat Drake in the Verzuz is Michael Jackson. And then I left the house. I refused to talk to him about anything.
Did you punch him in the face before you left?
I couldn't even do it. I just had to leave the presence, man. Like that's the type of shit.
I think my brother said that we had to fight. I think I have to be like, no, I for the greater good of the world, I have to whip your ass just off GP. Like, first off, I think Drake would be hard to beat. That's fair, but there's definitely people walking the earth that could beat him in the verses, 100%.
Yeah, Michael's like, you don't even put Michael up against really anybody. Like his catalog, you can start from Jackson 5 and he can win half the rounds.
I mean, if you're objective, he's probably the one guy that can't be beat in the verses.
The only thing that I can think of is if you put some of those artists that wrote some of his songs that are also artists, maybe
it'd have to be a group effort. You're talking about you'd have to give me like 3 people that can combine to the level of hits that he had. That's all you could really give me. Or like you said, a producer that has just some crazy long, like, wide catalog, like maybe.
Yeah, I don't think that's one thing. Like, I don't think like people younger than us understand that they know Michael Jackson songs and those songs came out in the 70s and 80s and 90s. It's like, how are you even comparing Drake to that? Like, you know the songs. It's like,
right.
It ain't like you don't hear them anymore. Like, they
about
still
longevity.
get played.
I mean, like, yeah, nah.
They still get played like a lot.
Like all the time. Like, what are you talking about? Nah, yeah.
Like, you can't have Halloween without Thriller getting played somewhere.
4 or 5 times that month at least. Just you're not trying to find it. You just gonna hear it, no matter what you do. I mean,
but I like Gucci, man. Like, I like Gucci stuff. I can get into that mode, but let's be real, man. Come on. If you're not from down south,
he's local. He's local. Yeah. That's like if
but
MOP
even that was bad.
If MOP was to ever battle anybody, nobody outside of New York is gonna bring them around.
but that's what I think. It was funny that they brought in another down south dude because it wasn't like it helped. You brought like the worst guy. You brought the worst guy to battle Gucci. It was like they got like, the beef, whatever. That's not
like street history. But it was like it's just like it went exactly like I thought. Like Manny Fresh versus Scotch Storch. Like Scotch Storch won almost every single round, and people were sitting there like, "Oh, Manny Fresh." And it's like Manny Fresh has 0 shot. Nobody like his first of all, his beats are gonna sound the same, and the only people that liked it are from the South. Like that's Cash Money Southern music. Like we didn't listen to it like that.
Not enough.
It's like that Timbaland link I sent y'all where it's like, I understand that Timbaland is a great and he's a legend when it comes to producing, but come on, man.
That wasn't good.
Come on, man.
Good for Timbaland. Like, I was like, that's all you do?
This all you do?
Come on, man. I'm not trying to disrespect him or nothing like that, just in case the rare chance that I encounter him, but like there's a better display of your talent than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, clearly. I was even sitting there like, yo, I can do that. Like, this is what you've been doing all these years? Like,
Who's next on Versus? By the way, who's the next one up? Is it the Ti Lil Wayne one, or is it
Yeah, I
somebody
saw
else?
some with T.I. I don't know if it's official. I did see like Lil Wayne T.I. Like it's
I don't
been
think that's a good
some
matchup.
it's been some interesting matchups being thrown out. I heard Joe Budden ask Wale about him versus J. Cole.
I don't like Wale.
Really?
I think Wale would beat J. Cole.
I think he would too. Actually, I like Wale.
I don't like his personality. He always sound like he crying to me.
But he did when he was asked about it, he just started complaining. He was like, well, J. Cole's more popular than me, so they're gonna say he won anyway. But
Which is also which is factual. They are going to say he won all.
They are going to say that, even though I think Wale makes better music.
I agree.
I don't know. Wale thinks he's smarter than he is.
Don't all rappers think that?
Yeah,
J. Cole
Wale,
J. Cole's a philosopher, an all-time great philosopher.
I don't think he thinks that.
I think he does.
Maybe. I don't know. I just know Wale he's just annoying to me. I honestly haven't given his music a chance. So like maybe I like him. I don't know. It just don't seem like it.
You got to stop doing that shit. I haven't given him a chance. I'll give him a chance.
Nah, he had all them interviews, and plus he's cool with Joe Budden, and Joe Budden's a weirdo. So
he is, but
yeah.
Wale to me makes better like hit music. Like Wale's 20 best songs I think would be J. Cole's 20 best songs.
Really, he's too emotional, man.
More than J. Cole?
Right. And Wale got a trap bag. Cole doesn't have a trap bag.
Send me off air. Send me the Wale that I'm supposed to like. I do the G review.
Send me the Wale I'm supposed to like.
That's the G review to Wale.
I do the G review on Wale.
Yeah,
I give you
Vel's the Wale. Vel's the Wale stand. He ain't know him. Vel's the Wale stand.
I think Wale's fire. I do. I
like Wale. I think Wale would beat J. Cole if they battle.
If it was objectively judged, yes.
Right. Because I think Wale has more, like, he has a deeper bag than J. Cole. J. Cole's going to pretty much keep the same tone, like, the entire time.
J. Cole going to give you a history lesson. Or talk about when he was 16. Like, and I need more than that.
I can't wait to ask. Like, I'm gonna see what J. Cole will respond to me. But I'm going to ask this nigga when he decided to look like Savion Glover.
He's trolling.
So y'all think Cole and Wale? See, I think Cole just got to go versus Kendrick, right? Like, just. I
mean, in terms of how they're both looked at in the industry, I think those two are better. That's actually closer to me because I don't know if Kendrick can win that battle.
I think because I think Wale makes better music than Kendrick too.
Y'all gotta say, man, what's the album, man?
His mixtape about nothing wasn't bad. Ambition was really good.
I don't want that slow shit. Okay, that's why I don't like Wale, because every time I hear him, it's that slow shit, and I don't got time for that right now.
So, but you got like the more tempo stuff. Probably got to listen to his mixtapes.
But Ambition is a good mix, though. I think it's a good mix of shit.
Yeah, Ambition is a good mix. Album About Nothing.
That was good.
That's a good album.
The mixtape About Nothing wasn't bad.
What's the one that I can give an objective, unbiased review?
I would say I feel like Ambition was probably his best album.
I liked Ambition. Ambition got a nice mix in there. The Gifted, I like the Gifted album.
I do too. But the
Yeah,
Gift is good.
Wale
The Gift is gonna have more slower shit on it though.
He really got 20 over Cole. I'm not saying it like it's crazy. I just don't know Wale like y'all do.
I would say yes.
Because the thing is why I would say he would beat Cole. Not only does he have, I think he has better album songs he can choose from. He also has a lot of features he can go from. Because he has a lot of trap features. Like he got like No Hands with Waka Flocka. Like that was Wale going in. Like Wale got a bunch of joints with Ross that was like trap joints. Like he can just.
It was actually really strategic for him to join with Ross because it opened up his catalog a lot. Whereas before it would have been a much closer battle. But I think he definitely got enough joints that I think he could definitely beat. He definitely beat Kendrick. Kendrick and Cole.
Yeah, because Kendrick, people would say, "Oh, you're crazy," but it's like, when's the last time you actually listened to Kendrick?
It's always a treat when I hear them.
It's always a treat.
Yeah, that first week, and then it's like I have no use for him anymore.
It's
When I hear him
always a
pop up in
treat.
the random verse, I'm like, oh shit, this is random ass flow, weird ass flow.
Yeah, like on Busta Rhymes album. Like,
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about
Yeah,
too.
it was nice, but then it's just
I
like
listened to that joint too.
Busta
I
Rhymes
like
had a
it.
good album.
He kind of went a little weird, but that's what I expected from him, so I like it.
I think Busta Rhymes is this. It's almost like how Jay became like, all right, this is the guy who I really wanted to be, but I couldn't be like that to make any money. It's like,
yeah, for sure, 100%.
That's funny.
Busta Rhymes
like
the same way.
He has some joints on there. Yo, I listened to all these albums and I talked to you, Reek, about it, and it's like, I know these boys is rich, but I feel like they could just make so much more money if they didn't have to pay for samples, man.
Yeah.
Like, damn, and then the beat be switching up, and I know how easy it is. Like, so let me say this. As a producer, I feel like when you switch the beat up, you're saying one of two things. You ain't know how to finish it. You ain't have enough ideas to finish the beat you're on. Or somebody else finish your beat. And either way, it's expensive. And I don't know how to finish a beat. I got 10 beats out. So
I was
got 30, 300 in the stash.
Yeah, listening to like it felt like Travis Scott was like, yo, this album cost a fortune. From between the features and the producing, like, because he didn't get light features on his album. Like at all. You got Kendrick.
It's the type of samples they were picking. It's like this, because we were just talking about royalties earlier. It's like this costs bread. You're not getting a mic sample cleared for nothing less than like 100,000 or something stupid like that, right?
Right. Yeah. Like it was like his album was like crazy with samples. Like he got Rakim on his album.
Man, he had like a lot of the Motown stuff, which people consider that legendary. So you're not clear. And as a matter of fact, for a while they weren't even clearing those samples.
Right.
Unless she was coming with the right bag.
Right.
I guess he got it. I mean, that's why you go on the major label, right? That's why you don't go independent.
It is him. So I think that's part of the reason why he was able to get a lot of samples clear, because it's him.
True, because you got to call in favors, because they're not just clearing a sample for any song.
Right.
Oh no. I don't know what to think, man. I've been talking to a couple of my producer friends. I've been thinking, I was like, man, like, do you think like sampling takes away from what you do as a producer? Because like, again, let's look at that tempo clip I sent. It's like, I mean, if all you got to do is hit the drums on a downbeat, then fuck you doing, right?
That's all I said Kanye was doing. That's why like everybody used to get mad when I say Kanye ain't that talented. Kanye might not be more talented than me. I'm just saying, like, he just like
come on, Rick.
Yo, he's damn homie, really?
Like, yeah, he just get a sample and like, and then it got to the point where some of the samples, Kanye didn't change anything.
So I tell you what though, what I would like to see, and this is where I would change my mind instantly if you showed me how you made the sample, because it's hard. Like I've tried to make samples, and to make them clean is hard. Because I even pointed it out in like the J album review, right? Despite what y'all feel about it, when I listen to the samples, if you can tell, like you could tell where the loop point is, you could tell where maybe they didn't mix it right, like that. If you were to show me how you did that, and everything I just said, I'd take it away. But till I see that, I don't know. I could buy a sample pack and be raw.
I could the song "Bound to" by Kanye. I could have literally made that beat because he did not change anything.
Yo, but come on,
nothing.
Greatest of all time, guys. Come on.
He did what Ghostface. Ghostface wouldn't even take the lyrics out of the song. He just rap over the song.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Ghostface would literally rap over the song. Like,
shit, that was Diplomats for that run, right? It's just
yeah.
You take the first minute of this song, intro and all, and loop the intro into it.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that was the whole move.
It was fire though.
It was. I was saying it was
Right.
fire.
It's fire.
It was fire though.
Like, that's why I found like a lot of old music because I got the Who Sample app. So when I hear a sample, I would go see where they got it from, and that's when I found like Kanye literally isn't changing much of anything on some of these songs, like nothing.
Yeah, no, I used to. I mean, I'm sure all of our parents did coming up, but like even before the Who Sampled app, like my parents were playing all these songs growing up, so instantly I could hear it and just tell you at least the artist, maybe not the song, but I can get you the artist.
Right. Same with me. Like, and that's why I like that, and that's what made like I heard the song before I knew the name of it, and then I'll go to Who Sample, you know. But Kanye just like, yeah, I could have found that part of the beat and looped it a million times, which is what he does. Like,
I mean, so can he call himself the greatest of all time if all he does is take old shit?
I mean, I always compared him like Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino will tell you himself, like, everything I've done in movies I've stolen from somewhere.
Yeah, he does say that. Everything, yeah, that's a fact.
Like it's his, but it's just
it's
like,
crazy how people just look at people that do that shit and they can tell you that shit and you're still just like, he's the greatest. All right.
Would you say it's merit that somebody, so like in the movie example, if I could tell a better story than you, just because you told the story first, I mean,
yeah, like
I'm a better storyteller though.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? Because like Tarantino would say himself, like, I just take pieces from this and pieces from this and pieces from this. Like his favorite scene that he wrote was in that movie True Romance, and it was a scene about the Sicilians, being black basically because they were taken over by the Moors all the years ago. And he said, "Yeah, I learned that from like one of my mother's black friends. Like he told me that story, and then I just put it in the movie." It's like,
damn.
Like it's all.
Damn. Well, okay.
Yeah,
fair enough.
It's stuff like
that's
that.
why we need Tyler Perry.
Yeah, he just tells the same. He loops his story.
No, he loops his story. Tyler Perry is an essential part of black cinema and marketing. Tyler Perry is needed. No Tyler Perry slander will be tolerated.
Have and have-nots.
It's a great, great show. Tyler Perry makes amazing films and television shows.
So Gucci won the battle, according to the young kids.
Young kids are fucking stupid.
You didn't have no basis for it either. Just Gucci won because I like him.
Because I wanted him to win.
I want him to win, so I'm giving.
That's all it is.
We don't have to stick on this too long, but what is it about Jeezy? Because so the new kids are going off of the beef, right? And if I was going off of the beef, honestly, I would probably pick Gucci just because, I mean, somebody came to take your chain and you killed them, right? Or your boy. So, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly, a hit was sent out. Gucci survived said hit.
I'm on Gucci's side. Oh, in that sense.
Yeah, in that aspect, I'm with Gucci. But if he's playing a basketball game, you ain't gonna win because you talk better trash than me. Did you score more points?
That's a fact.
And Guwap lost almost every round.
I mean, I think to me, I mean, Jeezy makes better music. It's not. It's
Jeezy
like,
set the game off with like a 15-0 run.
Yeah, he got how many like features from major artists that he got that like Gucci probably can't even talk to them people.
Dude, seriously, you think Gucci? Does Jay-Z have a song with Gucci?
No.
No. He not getting him on a song.
Gucci probably can't even get his phone number.
Let's not like, I know it's not gonna be a Gucci slander. Let's not like forget that Gucci allegedly has done a lot for a lot of the new artists as far as business coming up in the game right now. And
Yes.
as far as leading them in a direction where they could get put on or start their own little thing.
Yes, but
I mean, who though?
Migos.
Yeah.
Don't need them. Who else?
I mean, you could
Like
argue.
half the people he put on are trash, so I don't really care about that. But I mean, I'm glad you put young black men making money. Cool, but like that don't mean you good at rapping.
Was it Thugger? I don't know. He didn't put him on, but Thugger considers him a mentor. Obviously, there's like the whole Waka thing. I mean, he's not out now, but you know, he did numbers when he was out.
I think that's what I think.
Waka did have a run.
Gucci's given this like he's the godfather to a lot of these boys.
Mm.
I think that's why it's like I want him to win because of the guys he supposedly inspired, mentored, whatever, co-signed, however you want to put it. But in reality, so what? Like that shit don't matter. Like in terms of a battle of who makes better music.
Yeah, but it's
put on. Like who did Jay-Z put on? Like, I mean, outside of Kanye, a bunch of nobodies and I guess Beanie. Like, it don't matter. What's
Bleak
your
has
catalog? Fuck Bleak.
Come on, man.
Bleak is
That's my guy.
There ain't never been a luckier dude to just be cool with somebody great in their genre than Bleak.
I listen to
Without
Bleak
Jay-Z,
both albums.
I would say Ty Ty's luckier.
Who?
Ty Ty.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
I listen to Bleak.
Talent.
Both of his albums recently, front to back.
Who?
Bleak.
Bleak?
Did your ears bleed?
I like Bleak.
Did your ears bleed?
Nah, they're great songs.
You said his first two albums?
Yep.
Bro, you out. Bleak. I don't think Bleak has a good album. Period.
He had the back and forth. He had the Styles and Kiss with who's that? Who's that with? Was it Beans?
Beans.
Come on, man.
I don't think Bleak has a good album. Prove me wrong.
I think
his first two. Yeah, his first two is they all right. They got
scale of 1 to 10. What are we talking about?
7.
Fuck out of here. A 7? You fucking wild.
You
sent me the album. 7.
Review the album. I like the understanding.
Yeah.
A lot of J.
Grew up like a regular cat.
He lives a lot of J on it. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna listen to
Jay's on this one like 5 times.
Yeah, because he had to be. Because the company's like, we're not cutting this record unless you on this at least a third of the time, Jay. We're gonna call it a secondary album for you. We ain't pushing Bleak by his fucking self. Fuck you.
You understand it's a pretty good album.
It's 50 did it for Game.
Right. That's why I don't know how Game talk shit about 50. Like, yo, dude, he put you on. What are you? Your whole album was his whole album. What are you talking about? Yo, fuck you, 50. Shut the fuck up.
Right. He did give you his second. He did pretty much give you his second album.
and that was Game's best album. So what are you talking about? Your best album was 50 Cent's album. What are we talking about?
You can't tell me the understanding is trash.
Everybody say I'm looking at understanding was a good album.
Yeah, I'm not honestly coming of age. That was in that moment, in that era, anything Rock La Familia put out, people was taking in, and this is part of it.
I'll go back and listen to the understanding.
Coming of
understanding
age
is a lot of J on. There's a lot of J packs on there.
A lot of J, a lot of Beans.
I'm listening to all the non-J shit first, and if I'm not encouraged to keep going, I'm not.
Come on, man. He got some of the most
overused. I'm telling you how I'm listening.
Freestyle beats. The most overused freestyle beats is on this joint.
I am telling you how I'm listening. I'm going to avoid all Jay songs, and if I'm not encouraged, I'm cutting that shit off. Just telling you.
Man, I'm just waiting for y'all. You know, we're gonna come around to it. I'm just waiting for y'all to start coming at my guys, the Locks, and then it's beef. It's beef on site.
No, I fuck with the Locks. That's the one.
Right.
That's the one opinion you have that makes sense.
I'm not gonna die on the Nas hill, but you're not about to make me.
No, I
like
that.
Not about to disrespect the Locks.
I like the Locks. Jadakiss is better than us.
So you put me in a hard place right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. Jada's over Nas. Shit, I think Styles over Nas.
You know my wedding song was "The Champ Is Here."
That's hilarious. Was she happy about that shit?
Nah.
I'm happy you got this.
Drums came on.
Yep.
Nah, like I was thinking about that as far as who would I put over Nas? Jadakiss, absolutely would put over Nas. Absolutely.
Yeah, what's up? What's the next topic? Man?
Yo, I got a topic for you. Yo, Knicks. Obi Toppin. Hey, we out here. How you feel about that pick? We gotta talk Knicks. What
I
you
love
mean?
that pick. I love that pick.
It's a great move. It's a great talent.
I definitely didn't expect him to drop to us.
Dude, the head scratcher. We didn't even talk about the draft like that. The head scratcher to me was, dude, Florida State boy that went 4th or 5th or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That didn't start on his team. I was like, was it Patrick Williams or some shit?
Yeah. For somebody who watches a lot of basketball, I was like, yo, who is that?
Dude, I could not believe that shit. I was just like, all right. I wanted Melo to drop, but I know he wasn't going to drop past 3. Pray for that man going to Charlotte. That was I was happy about that shit. I think there's a lot of hate. One thing I hate about the NBA, in particular pundits, is it's let's shit on the Knicks because of the Knicks. You get the right guy, you get the wrong guy. It doesn't matter. It's always the wrong guy, or it's just the wrong time.
They tried to jump on us for not overpaying people.
Right. They nobody want to go there. There was no one worth throwing a bag at. That was available.
Right. What are you talking about?
Like,
it's like, just last week they had memes of Russell Westbrook and Gordon Hayward and somebody else for their big three. It's like, no, we didn't.
No, I swear, like I saw some Laker fucking fanboy on some Knicks fans really thought they were going to get Gordon Hayward, LaMelo, and somebody else, and I was just like, no, we didn't. We were 8th picking, motherfucker. Like, how are we going to get that? What are you talking about? And we wanted to sign Hayward? No, we literally told Hayward we're not paying you that much, and he was like, well, I'm going somewhere else. That's literally what happened.
We were like, good.
We're not paying you that. If he don't give you 120, that's a good move for you because we're not giving you 120.
Right.
So like this idea,
you're not eating up our cap.
Dude, it makes no sense. But I do like Obi. They're talking about like older draft picks tend to kind of cap out early or whatever. I ain't worried about that shit. I think he was the best player.
I think that's nonsense too. Ain't nobody ever said it about Tim Duncan.
Nope.
Michael Jordan went 3 years. Nope. Like anybody's that's just stupid. Like I don't know when. Yeah,
there's this notion that because he's 22, technically he would have been a junior, but I think he went to a prep school for a year. Then he had, I think, 2 years there. There was this idea that like he's a little too old, that because he's 22, maybe he's already physically peaked, and maybe he just looked better because he was playing against younger people. It's always these narratives around, and that was one of them.
Those are true,
right? And that's just stupid. Because the other thing is, they sitting there saying, "Oh well, he's old. He was older than he's an older player against younger players," and it's like, but you don't have a problem when the reclassed high school player looks like that against high school kids. Mm-hmm. And then you're sitting there talking about his potential because he's 19, not 22. Like, what's the difference? No. Like,
I think that was one thing I saw or whatever. But, like, other than that, man, I just hope with that shit that means that they're moving Randall. They got to move Randall. I don't want to see this guy coming off I want to see him starting. If we going to embrace youth, then embrace it. Bring a bunch of young guys off the bench and just either be shitty and they learn, or you make a trade for somebody and we're decent. But otherwise, man, like, fuck that, man. Randall should not start, period. He need to be gone.
Best player in your team.
Yeah.
I don't even think he is.
He is not.
I really don't think he's the best player on the team, actually. And he's the worst fit on the team because I don't think he allows – because he needs the ball for 100 spin moves. Like, the offense just stalls with him. And they said that. Literally, there was a players meeting. They're like, yo, nigga, pass the ball. You're not passing. Stop spin moving everywhere. And he was like, all right, my bad. Was better for a week and went back to the same shit. So, yeah. That's cool. See, man, Knicks talk. Stop talking shit. Talk about Knicks all day, all right?
All my trolling for the Knicks, I wasted it. So Y'all got this.
Yeah, you did. You wasted it. I do think
I
they're
just
going to
want y'all to
trade
be
for somebody
legendary.
stupid, though. No, you don't. I want the Pelicans to be legendary, but I don't think they ever will be.
It don't
And if
work
they
the
were,
same.
no one would care.
It don't work the same. I'm not a basketball fan.
Yeah, you're a fool. Oh, how? So we want to talk about that?
We good.
How your boys started Taysom Hill? How bad do they
good.
think Jameis is? My goodness.
Terrible. We seen him.
Take some Tebow.
Oh, good.
You see how long that shit lasts?
It's film out on him this week.
Yeah, we'll see how long that shit lasts. 3 of 12, 4 picks, 2 to the house. They're gonna be bringing Jameson with his glasses and all, talking about some. I got this, coach. Yeah, in trouble.
Not worried about it.
You should be. You should be.
We could lose out, and I'm not worried about it. Still make the playoffs.
Yeah, but that's not what y'all want. Y'all want to get that ring.
I'm good for like at least another 20.
20 years?
Yeah, I'm good. I lived through the.
I know you said 20 years. I guess you saw it. You did see it. And 09 they won it?
Yeah, on my birthday actually.
Oh, word. That's cool shit. 09. They did get a ring. I mean, you can say that I'm a Yankees fan, so I've seen that, but I haven't seen the Knicks or I guess a Bills championship yet. I'm not gonna see that shit in the next 3 years, probably.
I got it this year.
Not with Mahomes playing like fucking out of his mind right now.
Honestly, just be on the opposite side of the bracket.
I mean,
with COVID, boys is playing like I'm telling you, this is like just basketball over again. Boys is playing.
You're right. Boys are playing out of their mind in the NFL without no fans, and just it seems like there's less pressure.
It's like different.
It's definitely different. It's definitely different.
I'm on the defense, and I can hear your bullshit calls as a quarterback that supposedly I'm studying all week. Right? You're gonna have to change your game plan day of in order for me as a defender not to know what you're doing. Granted, the offense still eating, but ideally, I got a whole week to study everything, and I can hear it, and I can hear your coach from the sideline.
Yeah, yelling at you for the shit that you've been doing. That's fair.
Right.
Nah, it's different, man. It's COVID's changed shit up, man. Sports is different right now. I mean, I actually am happy it's back because without it, it was just like, what the fuck are we doing? But I mean, I definitely think this year is wide open in the NFL. You gonna have some random shit happen in the playoffs, or like again, that untimely COVID positive test is gonna throw everything in disarray.
Yeah, you see what did to the Patriots season.
Right, it completely ruined their shit. I mean, they were gonna be that great anyway, but COVID made sure and kicked them out. They were down for sure.
They were actually playing all right. Then they couldn't practice for like 3 weeks.
Right. Oh, breaking news. Your boy Trump is allowing the transition team to go through.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's good. We're not going to be a fucking one of those countries that has a fucking hostile takeover and fucking shit goes crazy. Because, that shit was a possibility. I was a little concerned about that.
Yeah.
Just,
trying to stay out the pokey. When you're trying to stay out the pokey, you try to go for.
I think what it is he's trying to work man for a pardon. He's just like, you know what, man? I've been a dick. You know what? Let me you got a transition team? Yeah, let's start working on that. You know what I mean? I think you're a great guy. You look very wide awake. Very handsome gentleman. You have a great wife. I think you're a great guy. So, remember those things. When I get hit with these indictments that I know are coming. I so hope you don't pardon that dude. I hope he'd be like, you know what? Nah, man. You going
send them all to jail. Giuliani, anybody on that legal team, send them all to jail.
Dude, like the fact that their cases have been getting dismissed with prejudice, which means like this case was so bad, don't bring it back. Like that's literally what with prejudice means. Don't send this shit back. It's a done deal. I'm not gonna rule on this shit no more.
They pretty much said all the black people in all the major cities are untrustworthy.
That's what they were like, yo, can you just know out 2 million of the votes for Biden, please? They were like, why? They're just because fuck them. That's why. Like what? Get the fuck out of my courtroom. What are you talking about? This shit just makes no sense. But these people run the fucking country. This is scary shit. Like
Get 'em
they
outta here,
run
man.
the country. All right. We're not a political podcast, but I have common sense, and that shit's stupid. That is funny.
Get them
Well,
out of here.
I'm out of ideas, guys.
Yeah.
Anything else left? Anything top
Yeah,
of mind?
I think I'm good. I don't think I have anything else right now.
Gee, you want to see any more last trolling things?
Nope.
All right, cool.